What's up guys, and welcome back to another 5Friday episode, where in today's video we're going over 5 ways to build muscle mass. Let's go! With tip number 1, we're keeping it basic, and that's eat in a caloric surplus. For you to understand the importance of this, let me first start by explaining the role calories play in our bodies. First off, calorie is just a term used to measure energy exertion and energy consumption. In basic terms, how many calories you're expending during the day and how many calories you're eating through foods and drinks throughout the day. Now your body uses these calories to do a number of things, ranging from keeping your heart pumping, blood flowing around your body, your lungs working. It basically uses these calories to keep you alive. But aside from all that, what we're focusing on is protein synthesis, or lack of a better term, you building muscle. Now for you to do this, your body needs to be in an anabolic state, meaning you need to consume more calories than your maintenance per day. Me for example, I am a 21-year-old male, standing at about 5'4" and weighing about 145 to 150 pounds. My basic calories for the day, just to maintain my figure, my weight currently, is about 2,000 to 2,100 calories. Meaning, if I want to build muscle, I need to be consuming anywhere between 24 to 2,500. What you don't want to do is go below your maintenance, because that is going to put you in a caloric deficit. And what that means is your body is in a catabolic state, which means you are not gaining anything. So guys, before you even think about going into the gym and picking up a weight, get your nutrition down. Tip number 2, and that's train your muscle groups twice a week. One of the most credible YouTubers, and someone I go to for a lot of my fitness and nutrition information, the Trivium Physique, actually done a video on how many times you should be training your muscle groups per week to maximize muscle growth. In this video, backed up by a bunch of studies and his own personal experience doing bodybuilding for 10 years, he came to the conclusion that training your muscle groups twice a week is more than adequate and actually recommended in order to maximize muscle. And this is why you see a lot of people running the basic push-pull leg split, because it allows you to segregate your muscle groups into separate days in order to maximize volume and frequency training. You can separate these days into a push day where you train your chest, shoulders and triceps, a pull day where you train your back and biceps, and a separate day for legs where you train your legs and then you rest and repeat. So if you're currently running a typical bro split where you're training one muscle group 5 or 6 days a week and then you're resting and repeating, you're only really training your muscle groups once a week. They are suitable to go for another workout after 48 hours, so adopting a similar split to the push-pull legs, or what I'm currently running, push-pull legs arms, will actually allow you to train twice a week in order to maximize how many gains you're making. Tip number 3, and that's lift heavy. Now this sounds basic, and it kind of is, but you need to understand the fundamentals of training and lifting heavy without completely frying your central nervous system, which is actually going to hinder and impinge how much muscle you are actually going to gain. To do this, we can use what's known as an RPE, the rate of perceived exertion. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much energy did you have to exert in order to complete your set. If by the end of your sets you're having to really grind these weights out and you're really struggling to get them up, but your form is intact, I'd say you're about 8 or a 9. If the weights are coming up fairly easily, but your last 1 or 2 sets, maybe the last couple of reps are a little bit hard to get up. You're not massively, but you have to exert a bit more energy in order to get them up, but it's nothing taxing. I'd say you're about a 5 to a 6, maybe a 7. And finally, if you're flying through the weights with ease and there's actually no effort being put into it, you're doing CrossFit and you need to stop and go lift some real weights.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
But all jokes aside guys, I would say if you want to maximise lifting heavy without it being detrimental to your training, I'd say you want to stick to about an 8 or a 9 on this scale. Meaning you want the sets to be very taxing, but you do not want your form to break down whatsoever, and you don't want to absolutely kill yourself the second or third set of your bench press, because you have another set to go and you're just completely going to fry your central nervous system. But take in mind, this is completely subjective. It's all down to what you perceive. Only you or your training partner are actually going to be able to tell where you place on this scale. So be honest with yourself and come to a realistic point of where you are and improve from there. Tip number 4, focus on your compound movements. If there was one thing that I could go back and change from when I first started training, it would be focusing less on bicep curls and tricep extensions and focusing more on my compound movements and nailing them down. First off, compound movements are just multi-joint and multi-muscle group exercises. For example, your bench press is a compound movement. It engages your chest, your shoulders, your triceps and your abs to stabilize yourselves. Whereas your pec deck, where you're mostly sitting on a machine, it isolates only your chest and that's it. So your workouts should be fundamentally based around your 4 compound movements, them being bench press, squat, deadlifts, overhead presses. The reason for this is because at the beginning of your workout you really want to maximize your potential. So on the exercises where you can lift the most amount of weight while maintaining the best form, in return breaking down the most muscle fibers and promoting the most muscle growth, you want to be training them first so you can really maximize that. You can then go on to your isolation movements and focus on kind of the nooks and crannies of your physique. But don't make your isolation movements a priority. Start off and base your whole entire workouts around your compound movements. And that brings us on to our 5th and final tip, and that's get enough rest. Guys, you could be busting your ass in the gym all week. You could be eating in a caloric surplus. You could be nailing down your compound movements. You could be doing everything that I've just told you to do. But none of that is going to matter if you're continuously busting your ass and not taking the rest you deserve and you need. First off, get enough sleep. Your body doesn't build muscle in the gym. It tears down the muscle fibers, but your body repairs them when you're sleeping, not when you're awake and active and moving. So if you're not getting enough sleep, your body's not repairing the muscles to the potential that they could be. In turn, less muscle growth. Make sure you're drinking enough water because your body is made up of 79% water. Your muscles are the majority water. So really give your body what it needs. And finally, just take the time to relax. You can bust your ass in the gym, that's completely fine, but give yourself some downtime because you can work your body to the extreme, but one thing you do not want to fry out is just your mental capacity of enjoying training. So guys, that brings this video to an end. Hope you liked it. If any of these 5 tips helped you, give it a like, subscribe for more videos. If you wanted to check out any videos that I did last week in the 5 Friday series, links will be somewhere on the screen. And guys, if I've missed any tips out or you have any tips for anyone else, leave them in the comment section below and have a conversation, and I'll see you next time. It would be, if there was one thing I could do when I first started, if there was one thing I could go back and change when I first started training, it would be focus less on bicep curls and tricep extension. In this video, backed up by studies and in this video, backed up by a bunch of studies and his own personal experience, it's actually recommended that training twice a week, fuck's sake,